Who's not him?
You are not him.
Who's not him?
So what's up?
What's up? Weave.
Why are you weave?
Yeah, I weave that.
I was scared. Whoop.
That had to be the most Kingdom Hearts intro I have ever seen in Sonic history. And that's a compliment, by the way. Kingdom Hearts is dope. First of all, magnifique. 10 out of 10 from what I've seen so far. This is definitely the best animation we've seen in a Sonic show. Followed second by the one and only Sonic Prime, which the first 2 seasons I'd say was good, especially that second season. That second season was really good. But that third season, oh no, that was just awful. But we don't have to worry about that here in Shadow Generations Dark Beginnings because it is written by the GOAT, Ian Flynn. That is a factual statement and you cannot argue with it. I tell you what, Sonic Prime Season 3 would have definitely been better if Ian was writing for him. Oh well, at least it was leagues better than the Knuckles TV show. That was the worst Sonic show I've ever seen in my life. But yeah, Shadow Anime. It looks pretty good, right? I like it. I think it's pretty cool. It's got this trippy aspect to it that really throws you off throughout the episode. Kinda like the game, huh? Pretty on brand if I say so myself. But that fight choreography was amazing, though. You can't say it's not. You can't hate on that. Let's be real here.
Who's not him?
So what's up? What's up?
Weave.
Why are you weave?
Yeah, I weave that.
I was scared.
Honestly, better than a lot of anime I've seen. And this isn't really a show like that. It's really more so 3 episodes short. But you know, it's so good looking. It's so phenomenal. It's so sexy that I just kind of want to call it a show. You know what I mean? Take, for example, in the beginning, it starts off with this diabolical fake out. Because you think you're looking at the scene where Maria dies as they're running down the corridor. But the tone is shifted and you see that it's actually a positive memory of Shadow and Maria. That is good writing. You see, they're toying with the audience in a creative way. I love it. But one of my favorite parts of the episode is the moon. About time. Where was this in the last 20 years? To finally confirm in the actual canon that the moon is still broken after completely ignoring it for 20 plus years straight, we finally get to see the moon. Yes, this is what I'm talking about. Let's add some continuity to these games. Respect the lore. Who else but the GOAT? But honestly, I am genuinely proud of Ian Flynn and how far he's come over the years. Back in the day, I used to read the Archie Sonic comics and, well, this man was cooking all the time, consistently. He started writing for the Mega Man comics, which I'm not really a fan of Mega Man. I do want to get into it, but he was writing for the Mega Man comics and my close friend, he's a huge Mega Man fan. He was like, oh, that guy writes for the Mega Man comics. Man, he's good. It's stuff like this why I defend Ian Flynn. And even though I'm not caught up with IDW Sonic, the things that I have read so far have been very well written. This man is not new to cleaning up stories and using continuity. And he's gotten an unnecessary amount of hate, mainly on Twitter. I think it's really just Twitter. I mean, it's Twitter, like what do you expect? And you can kind of tell most of the haters are probably little kids, at least the ones that go out of their way to show their hatred for the man and take it to the next level. And if they're not little kids, well, that's just sad. You, sir, must go touch grass.
This mother...
But Ian is growing in the scene and getting more and more opportunities as he goes by. He even got a chance to write lines for Keanu Reeves, which is a massive honor for him. And I'm super happy to see him make it this far, to writing the games and writing this animated series. And boy, is it beautiful. I haven't seen the Sonic fan base this happy in a long time, if not ever, to be honest. Take this post from Some Call Me Johnny. He says, first episode of the new Shadow short was great. Honestly, my favorite shot was the moon. Look how cool it looks. Continuity, and it gives the world of Sonic another interesting set piece, which is exactly what I just said, pretty much. This is a big deal. This is a big deal, something that as a fan, I love. If you're new to the Sonic franchise and you don't know exactly why this is such a big deal, let me summarize it for you. Long, long ago, just after the dinosaurs died, humanity created a game called Sonic Adventure 2. The game was glorious, showed promise and hope for humanity, and brought prosperity to the land by giving us the one and only Chao Garden, something that Sega has not brought back for over 20 years for some unexplained reason. During this time of peace, there were no wars, no hatred, because everybody was too busy taking care of their Chao. And also, Eggman went to the Space Colony Ark, used its cannon, and blew half the moon apart. Oh, and Shadow was there too. Anyways, the fanbase is pretty happy about this. Take Games Cage, aka Fidel. He says, the way they did this scene, Shadow's fear of Black Doom surviving. Man, I need more now. The whole dream sequence was pure art, I'd say. I know I'm just sitting here just going crazy over this thing the entire time, but it truly is art. It's a good mixture of good memories, bad memories, fear, all kinds of emotion. The quality of this is just amazing. What's been going on with Sega recently? Why are they so good at doing this whole marketing thing and everything that they've been doing recently? They've just been on point. It's strange to just see them make this change all of a sudden. Ever since the Sonic movie, it's been like this. Keep it up, Sega. You guys are doing phenomenal work here. Seriously, you're gonna make a lot of sales. Seriously, if you were to tell me 10 years ago that Sega would end up looking better than Ubisoft of all companies, I would have looked at you crazy. If you had told me that Sega would have ended up making 3 Sonic the Hedgehog movies, 2 of which are very successful, and the third, which is more than likely going to be a success as well, probably the most successful, a Shadow the Hedgehog anime that looks glorious and is better animated than most other animes, and then making a successful open world Sonic game, and then continue that success later on, and you tell me that they end up looking better than Ubisoft of all companies, I'd have been like, oh really? Ubisoft, the people that made Assassin's Creed 1 through 4. You know, Assassin's Creed 4, Black Flag with all the pirates and stuff. The company that made Far Cry 3, Rayman, and Beyond Good and Evil. You're telling me Sega's gonna surpass that in 10 years from now? Ha! I would have scoffed at you, good sir. But the reality is actually crazy. But to think about what Shadow might have to go through in this whole story arc, not just in this show, but also in the game as well, because it ties in together. Because through the trailer, we can very clearly see that Black Doom, with the help of Time Eater, I guess, brings back Maria and Dr. Gerald Robotnik. Shadow's actually going to see them again. And it'll be all the more painful when he has to say goodbye to them again. Shadow may have to witness them die again, which would be so powerful for storytelling. I'm telling you, like, if this story is like that, oh my god, that would be so freaking good. This is turning out to look very promising, and Sega is gonna make a lot of money on both fronts. In terms of the game and in terms of the movie, they're gonna make some bank. I'm not saying the movie's gonna make $1 billion or anything like that, not like the Mario movie, but I'm just saying it would be pretty nice if you did. I like to see the things that I love succeed. What do you want from me? And since we're on the topic of the movie, I'm actually speculating that at the end of the 3rd Sonic movie, we'll get another character reveal. Potentially, it may be Metal Sonic. I mean, it could be Amy. I mean, if they want to be boring about it, then sure. But I think Metal Sonic would be a lot more hype, don't you think? Regardless, I think Metal Sonic's gonna play a role in the 4th movie anyways. Because think about it. Sega likes to tie in their games to the movie. At least, that's a good strategy to have. They're doing it here and they're gonna make bank because of it, right? I've been hearing rumors of a Sonic Heroes remake. Now, like I said, it's just a rumor, so take it with a grain of salt. But let's assume that that's true. Who's the main villain of Sonic Heroes? Metal Sonic. And wasn't there also a rumor that Team Chaotix was supposed to appear in the Knuckles TV show, but they were cut away from it for unknown reasons, and are said to be introduced in a later film? Team Chaotix were also in Sonic Heroes, in which the final villain is Metal Sonic. And you know what's funny? Team Chaotix's first game was actually Knuckles Chaotix, in which you can play as the Chaotix members and Knuckles. Who was the final villain in that game? Oh right, 'twas Metal Sonic. And don't you think it's high time we got Amy Rose in the Sonic movie? I personally think it's time. I mean, we have all the OG classic Sonic allies except for Amy, really. So with that in mind, what's the first game that Amy appeared in? Sonic CD. And who else had their first appearance there? Metal Sonic. It all just comes full circle now, doesn't it? But that was a little tangent I went on there. Point is, I love this episode. The artistic choice, the animation, the storytelling, it's really making me want to see more. I love the direction that this show is going, and I love the direction that Sega is going with Sonic the Hedgehog. Whether you count this as an official Sonic show or not, you can't deny it's pretty dang good. So if you like this video, make sure you click that like button and subscribe. Come and join the Vagabond's journey. And let me know what you think down below in the comments section about this tremendous show, because it's really good. Ian Flynn's the GOAT, by the way. But anyways, with all that being said, Vagabond gone.